Why is it that some people seem to keep winning in life, while others stay stuck? It's not just about luck or inheritance, it often comes down to habits, mindsets, and choices. In this video, we're breaking down 5 things poor people do that the rich don't. Behaviors and beliefs that quietly sabotage success, keep people trapped in survival mode, and stop them from ever building real wealth. If you're ready to challenge your thinking and start making powerful changes, let's dive in. Eating fast food. Health is very important, and many poor people have no interest in knowing what's in their food. What an actual healthy meal should look like, or barely know anything about nutrition. Poor people are blasting their brains with large quantities of sugar and fats with no nutritional value. They are actively ruining their bodies, and as an effect, they cannot perform at 100% of their potential. And it's not about just what you eat, it's about how you eat too. For example, eating close to bedtime can affect your natural sleep cycle by decreasing the amount of rest you get. This has been associated with unwanted weight gain, increased blood pressure, and increased risk of heart disease. Another mistake is stress eating. Stress eating can result in overeating, specifically eating more processed foods with high levels of fat, sugar, or salt. In the long run, stress eating can increase your risk for chronic diseases such as diabetes or heart diseases. There are so many bad eating habits such as mindless eating, eating too fast, or skipping meals, but I don't want to bore you with details in this video. And this is basically not this channel's subject. If you're not healthy, all aspects of your life are directly affected. You'll suffer physically, mentally, professionally, and even romantically. Poor people blame others for their misfortune. How many people do you know who constantly have an excuse for why they're not where they want to be in life? Maybe they blame their upbringing, their job, their lack of connections, or even bad luck. It's always something or someone else that's keeping them from success. But here's the truth. While a few things in life are genuinely out of our control, the overwhelming majority, about 99%, is entirely on us. Your choices, your mindset, your actions, and your reactions shape the reality you live in. You are the one in charge of your life. No one else can live it for you. You are responsible for your relationships, how you show up in them, who you allow in your circle, and how you communicate. You are responsible for your health, what you eat, how you move, how you rest. You are responsible for your personal and professional growth, what you learn, how you invest your time, how you adapt. Want to see real change? Then stop waiting and start doing. Nothing changes until you decide to take control and take action. Life isn't about what happens to you, it's about how you respond to what happens to you. That's where your power lies. Two people can go through the same difficult experience, but come out of it with completely different outcomes. Why? Because of how they chose to react. When faced with adversity, some people default to the role of the victim. They shut down, blame others, and let the situation define them. Others, however, the ones who grow and succeed, pause to reflect. They ask themselves, what went wrong? What part did I play in this? What can I learn from it? And most importantly, how can I prevent this from happening again? That's the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. One turns challenges into roadblocks, the other turns them into stepping stones. One chooses to feel powerless, the other chooses to take ownership. Success doesn't come from avoiding failure, it comes from learning through it, adapting to it, and using it as fuel to become stronger. So the next time something goes wrong, don't look for someone to blame. Look inward, own it, study it, grow from it. That's how real change begins. That's how transformation happens. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment you start taking control of your life. Poor people tend to have more kids and earlier in their life. The truth is, having kids is incredibly expensive, much more than most people are prepared for. Of course, we all know how enjoyable the process of making them is, or at least the practice, but for many, that's where the thinking stops. There's a tendency to romanticize the idea of having children without fully grasping the long-term financial, emotional, and lifestyle commitments involved. The reality, however, hits hard once the baby arrives. To put things into perspective, if you're living in a developed country, the average cost of raising a single child from birth to adulthood can exceed $250,000. And that's a conservative estimate. That figure doesn't even factor in potential costs like higher education, extracurricular activities, healthcare, or the increasingly expensive housing market. Yet, despite these daunting numbers, many people, particularly those from lower income backgrounds, start families without fully considering or understanding the economic implications. Due to a combination of factors such as limited access to education, lack of financial literacy, unstable environments, and cultural norms, lower income individuals often have more children and at younger ages compared to their wealthier counterparts. It's not necessarily a matter of irresponsibility. Sometimes it's the result of generational cycles, inadequate support systems, or simply not knowing there are other options. But regardless of the reasons, the impact is profound. Meanwhile, those with more financial stability tend to delay having children. They often spend their 20s and early 30s investing in education, building careers, and creating a more secure environment, emotionally, financially, and physically, for their future children. They wait until they can provide better conditions and a higher standard of living, ensuring that when they do bring a child into the world, that child has every possible advantage. In contrast, when a child is born into a family that's already struggling to make ends meet, the hardship often deepens. The focus shifts from personal growth and opportunity to basic survival. Parents may find themselves working multiple jobs, skipping healthcare, or sacrificing their own well being just to keep the lights on. And because the household is stuck in survival mode, it becomes increasingly difficult to provide the child with upward mobility. Breaking that cycle becomes nearly impossible without external support. This is not a judgment. It's a reality that many people live through every day. But it's also why education, financial awareness, and accessible family planning resources are so crucial. Raising a child is one of life's greatest responsibilities, and the decision to do so should come with foresight and preparation. Love may be free, but diapers, rent, schooling, and medical bills certainly aren't. Poor people spend money before they get it. One of the most dangerous habits you can fall into, especially early in life, is spending money before you actually have it. It may seem harmless in the moment. After all, everyone around you is financing phones, cars, vacations, and even clothes. But what often starts as a small indulgence, a purchase made on credit or a loan taken out with optimism, can quickly grow into a lifestyle of debt and dependency. And once that cycle begins, it becomes incredibly difficult to escape. The moment you start borrowing money or taking on financial commitments that your current income can't support, you put yourself on a slippery slope. What might seem like a short term solution often turns into long term stress. Monthly payments pile up, interest accumulates, and before you know it, you're not just paying for what you bought, you're paying for your past mistakes with your present freedom and your future security. Here's a simple truth that many people learn the hard way. If you can't pay for something in full without it affecting your ability to meet your basic needs, you can't afford it yet. If buying that item means you're dipping into rent money, pushing off your bills, or putting your savings at risk, it's a red flag. The smartest move isn't to swipe the card or apply for a loan, it's to pause, reflect, then get back to work, save up, and come back for it later, when the purchase won't disrupt your life. Living below your means may not feel glamorous. It might not come with instant gratification, but it's the foundation of real financial freedom. It gives you breathing room, security, and peace of mind. It allows you to build wealth slowly and steadily rather than constantly trying to catch up or dig yourself out of a financial hole. Delayed gratification is a skill that separates those who survive from those who thrive. The discipline to wait, to work, and to earn what you want instead of borrowing your way to it is one of the most powerful forms of self-control you can develop. Every dollar you don't owe is a dollar that's truly yours. Every unnecessary debt you avoid is one less chain holding you back from opportunities in the future. So the next time you see something you want, ask yourself honestly, can I buy this without borrowing? Will this purchase impact my essentials or future plans? If the answer is yes, then wait. Grind a little more. Save up. And then when you can truly afford it, not only will you enjoy it more, but you'll own it without it owning you. Poor people never follow through on their ideas or potential. There are many things in life you simply can't control. You didn't choose your parents, the country you were born in, your economic background, or the way society may perceive or treat you. These factors can undoubtedly shape your path, but they don't define your destination. What you do control completely is the time, effort, and focus you invest in your dream. And that's more powerful than most people realize. Every single person on this planet, regardless of wealth, background, or privilege, wakes up each day with the same 24 hours. That's the great equalizer. It's not about how many hours you have, it's about what you do with them. Some people use their time to build, to learn, to practice, to experiment. Others waste it on distractions, doubts, or waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't often comes down to how they manage those same 24 hours. If you're truly passionate about something, whether it's a business idea, a creative pursuit, a skill, or a mission, then you owe it to yourself to make consistent progress toward it. Not overnight, not all at once, but every day. The path to success is rarely linear, but if you commit to learning more, doing more, and improving consistently, results will eventually follow. Momentum builds, confidence grows, opportunities emerge. It's only a matter of time. You've probably heard the saying that 9 out of 10 businesses fail within their first 3 years. And while that statistic may sound discouraging, here's something far more sobering. 100% of the businesses that never get started fail. Every brilliant idea that stays locked in someone's head, every dream that's never acted on is guaranteed to go nowhere. So if you have an idea, start. Don't wait until it's perfect. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the stars to align. Begin with what you have. Build something simple, put it out into the world, get real feedback. Use what you learn to make it better, then launch again and again and again. That process, iteration, resilience, and relentless pursuit is how greatness is born. Success is not reserved for the chosen few. It's earned by those who dare to try, to fail, to get back up, and to keep going. So control what you can, use your time wisely, bet on yourself daily, and above all, remember, the biggest failure isn't falling short. The biggest failure is never starting at all. The difference between staying stuck and building the life you want often comes down to small, daily choices. What you believe, how you spend your time, and what you do when no one's watching. The truth is, you don't need to be born rich to end up wealthy. But you do need to think differently, act intentionally, and break free from the habits that hold most people back. If even one of these 5 points hit home, don't just nod and scroll. Do something about it. Reflect, reset, start today. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is smaller than you think if you're willing to walk the path. Thanks for watching. Now go build something that future you will thank you for.